We are now in August. The time has come, and the playoffs are nigh. For Detroit City FC, it's go time. What seemed to be bliss at the beginning of the season, with an inspired run which put them into the top half of the Eastern Conference, soon would fall into complete dismay, as Detroit City would take a free fall for the ages. Some would say the free fall began in Indy, as Detroit City would give up 2 consecutive goals to Elvis Amo as they dropped points to the Indy 11. Days later, they would lose to the Chicago Fire by a score of 4-0 in the U.S. Open Cup. Weeks later, they traveled to Pittsburgh to take on the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. A .24 XG propelled them to that loss. Probably one of the worst offensive performances in Detroit City history. Coupled with the fact they lose in Portland in the Jägermeister Cup, and the season was doomed. This didn't get any better in Oakland, as they give up an own goal in a 2-0 uninspired loss to the Oakland Roots. Ben Morse would be out for the year with an ACL injury. Stephen Carroll would have to go under the scope, and Trevor James would end up being let go as sporting director. There was a lot of questions Detroit City had to answer at this point. However, 10 days ago, over at Keyworth, a very inspired performance by Detroit City FC as they defeated Westchester FC by a score of 3-0. That win did not propel them into the knockout rounds of the Jägermeister Cup. However, it was the most inspiring performance of the year thus far. Much needed midfield help came in the way of Kobe Hernandez Foster. The former Birmingham Legion star came to Detroit City via the Las Vegas Lights last week in a transfer. He should provide help in a struggling midfield, which has failed to provide the ball to their top scorer, Darren Smith. Darren Smith notched a couple goals in a game against Rhode Island FC the last time these two teams met at Keyworth Stadium, making the day very miserable for one Maxi Rodriguez. Now, the two teams will meet again tonight at Centerville Bank Stadium. Will this be the catapult for Detroit City moving forward as they make a run in the Eastern Conference playoff race? Steve and I will break this down as we get you set for tonight's action from Rhode Island, right here on Soccer Night in Detroit.
Don't leave him alone. Don't let him shoot like that. Can Nate Steinwasser deliver? Of course!
The boys in Rouge return to the field as they travel to Centerville Bank Stadium in Pawtucket, Rhode Island to take on Rhode Island FC. All right, we are back after a little bit of a hiatus here, but
a good week and a half.
A good week and a half.
And back into our familiar way viewing party ground.
And you might be curious why I'm wearing a Pumas jersey instead of a DCFC jersey tonight previewing this game. There's a game going on at the same time that we're playing Rhode Island tonight, and they are taking on Inter Miami. Pumas is taking on Inter Miami.
AKA the Pink Phony Club.
Yes, in Leagues Cup play, very much an important game for both of those clubs. Yes, I'm following along, and yes, I am rooting for Pumas because
I think we're all rooting for Pumas. We played them
most of the
year,
right people that are not plastics. Let's just put it that way.
All right.
And they are playing the final day of Phase 1.
Oh yeah, Phase 1. What was Phase 1?
Phase 1, collect underpants. Phase 2.
Nobody knows what Phase 2 is. It the knockout round or Phase 3, which is the supposed profit? Which
it's kind of weird that way because I don't know why they call it Phase 1. It's kind of stupid if you ask me.
It is. I agree.
Why don't they just call it a group stage?
Let's call it a group play, for God's sake.
And they are playing each other, MLS versus Liga MX and all
And
that.
it's going
But
to be,
anyway,
and it's going to be MLS against Liga MX in the quarterfinals.
yeah. But like I said, I'm putting the Pumas on because you know me and my feelings about Lionel Messi
Yeah.
and Inter Miami. By the way, from what I hear, Messi might not play tonight.
Yeah, he got injured.
A minor injury from what I understand.
But play safe than sorry.
Yeah.
Although he won't have his bodyguard because he was ejected because he wasn't credentialed and was on the field. You can't do that. Just remember the U.S. Open Cup games against the Michigan Stars.
Yeah.
Remember? But
we're not here to talk about Pumas and Inter Miami.
It's a big week for Detroit City FC.
Two-game week.
This week, tonight against Rhode Island. Saturday night at Indy 11 at Keyword.
And
then Monday.
Yeah. We'll talk about Monday
next.
We'll talk about Monday next week.
Next week.
Yeah.
Well,
when that comes. I mean, big announcement, of course. News coming down this week about the stadium.
Yes.
And naming rights being secured. That'll be an announcement on Monday. That's will be coming up. We'll delve more into that.
They call it a momentous occasion.
Yes, a very momentous occasion.
I know.
That's going to be happening.
And we were the last movie we done. We were talking about what name that could come up. We could only came up with two things.
And like I said, we'll delve more into that
next week.
Yeah,
this week.
Yeah,
okay.
But the more important thing right now is
Rhode Island,
Detroit City.
Okay,
Detroit City in a nutshell. We all know of the struggles. I listed them at the cold open. And the fact that we've only won one game since Indy 11.
One game.
One
freaking game.
And it's been just a downward spiral. You had the Ben Morris injury, first of all. Stephen Carroll going out with his issues, with his knee and all that. So going under with the scope. We hope to get him back sometime soon.
Hopefully soon.
Trevor James being let go.
Yes, that was a big story.
And we've been trying to figure out what's been going wrong with Detroit City in the past, I don't know, shall we say, 2-3 months or so.
It's been heartbreaking. We got a few ties, a lot of losses. We lost
a lot of losses. We are 5-6-6 right now. We are 5-6-6 in the championship right now.
Yes.
And like I said, I attribute that to that 2-2 tie.
Yeah.
The days later, 4-0 at SeatGeek against Chicago Fire.
Oh, my.
A draw against Hartford Athletic on the road. A draw against Birmingham Legion on the road. A loss to the Charleston Battery at Keyworth. Portland Hearts of Pine, I mentioned that in the cold open. That dreadful game against Pittsburgh.
Oh, my.
And then losing to Loudoun United at their place. The only win in that stretch,
Miami.
The 2-0 win over Miami FC at Keyworth Stadium, in which Atis Juve got that beautiful goal late in the match.
Yeah.
And it's just been a downward spiral since then. The back-to-back losses.
Yeah. So Oakland and Hartford, who were in last place.
At the time. And then you come back with a draw against the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. And right now, Detroit City, on the year, has scored a total of 20 goals.
10 goals worse than the 30 goals that was 2023.
Yeah. It is much worse right now.
Yeah.
And I was listening. I don't know. I don't think you've listened to it as of yet.
Yes.
The last episode of USL All Access, they were doing a breakdown of all the teams in the in USL Championship right now as we're heading into this week. Because right now it's go time.
It is.
It is go time.
You're almost at the doorstep of the rush to the playoffs.
This is the push to the playoffs right now. This is exactly what it is. It's the push to the playoffs. And right now you're sitting in 6 behind Pittsburgh,
who would have a 5-point lead and win their game against Rhode Island last week. You know what I mean? I saw the game on ESPN Plus. You're about one ahead of Indy 11, who you're going to face on Saturday.
Yeah.
And then,
2 points ahead of Birmingham Legion.
which we
2
have
points
played
ahead of
Birmingham.
Miami FC.
Yeah.
We are in the middle right now of I don't want to say dogfight. I don't want to say pillow fight or cat fight or whatever.
What is it now?
It's going to be an all-out battle for the final. I'll say it now. Final 6 playoff positions in the Eastern Conference, including, mind you, the top 2 right now.
I know.
Because don't look now, Loudon United has been struggling.
Yeah.
They've been struggling as of late.
They've been struggling too.
Yep.
They were
North
near
Carolina.
the top,
They're only 5 points ahead of us right now.
Pretty.
So, yeah, same with Pittsburgh.
I know.
But North Carolina has the same amount of games. Pittsburgh has the game in hand, or we have the game in hand. We both have the game in hand against Pittsburgh.
Yeah, you're right.
And Loudon's got we got a game in hand with Loudon right there. But right now it's like teams are trying to figure it out. Hartford Athletic, they're starting all of a sudden to come on. They got a great Jägermeister Cup run. In fact, they made it into the quarterfinals of that competition. Tampa Bay is starting to come around, and we thought they were dead.
And
The team we're playing tonight, though,
Hartford?
No, Rhode Island. They've been struggling as of late too. They won their group in the Jägermeister Cup.
Yeah, but in league play, and they have played almost half of their league game. They're 1-4-3.
Yeah,
not good.
Not good at all. And it's just
they only scored 4 goals at Center Bank Stadium since it's open. Yeah,
and it's not and Center Bank State Centerville Bank Stadium has not been, let's just say, the friendly confines, shall we say, as it was set out to be. Losing in penalties in the Jägermeister Cup, the Hartford Athletic, the 0-0 draw at El Clam in the first game of the El Clam doubleheader.
And by the way, that extra point in the shootout clinched their quarterfinal spot
with a bunch of other things going along with them.
I know.
Their biggest win was against Portland Hearts of Pine. And remember what happened to us against Portland Hearts of Pine.
It was a disaster.
Yeah.
And that, you're going to have to ask what could have been if we won that game or won in regulation.
Their last regular season league win came against, I believe, Rhode Island FC.
Yeah.
2-1 victory there. This is a team that has been very much struggling for the outset, and they're going to be without J.J. Williams tonight.
Yes.
Because he got handed a red card on Saturday night, I believe.
A straight red or 2 yellows?
I believe it was a straight red.
For violent conduct.
Yeah, I believe it was a straight red on his last match. I'm trying to go back and look at that one real quick here. Let's see here. So, the 2-0 loss to Pittsburgh the other night at Highmark Stadium.
Yeah.
J.J. Williams goes off in the 69th minute of play. And this was after a couple goals by Pittsburgh in the process of that one. So it was a straight red for him. Wasn't his second yellow of the match. But that's more firepower. That's that's one of the key firepower players of Rhode Island FC that will not be there tonight.
No.
Going back to Detroit City, however, though, it's just that the fact that right now, I mean, the way the last couple months have been for Detroit City FC, I'm looking back at the matches there. I mean, what's the key? I don't know. Key common denominator here.
The key common denominator is not a lot of offense.
Who generated most of the offense?
Mostly Stephen Carroll. You know what I mean? No.
I'm talking offense.
Okay.
Who generated most of that offense?
Devin Anameto? No. Okay.
Prior to the skid.
Prior to the skid.
He had an own goal in Chicago.
Darren Smith, yeah.
He had an own goal in Chicago.
Yeah, Darren Smith.
And he's been quiet.
No, he's been quiet.
Very quiet.
He had a couple of assists in a couple of games I've seen, but
his last goal that he scored was against the Portland Hearts of Pine back on May 31st.
And by the way, his last league goal was against Indy 11. And ever since, haven't done much, considering they've seen the tape and they've said, how can we contain this guy? And he's been shut down, literally, except for those for surgeon break where he could score a goal and then pass it to the teammate and score a goal.
Pass it to either Cedeno or or any other guy that's open.
You're right.
Another problem, though, of course, with Ben Morris going down
Yeah.
in a training injury that ruptured his ACL, and now he's out for the year. You don't have that second person that's available out there. So a lot of that was, and this is the thing that Devin Kerr mentioned this. Detroit has got to find their identity again.
You're right.
You know, they are a sieve defensively as of late, and they're not producing goals on what Danny Dicchio is hoped to produce more goals that way, and with the offense and all that stuff, and with Stephen Carroll not being out there, your defense has lost their quarterback.
You're right.
When you think about it, because Stephen Carroll was a huge commander of the offense. Not to mention the other guy that was a huge commander of that defense is retired, and we're going to be celebrating him on Saturday.
Yes, we'll mention that after the
we'll be celebrating him on Saturday. But the thing is, it's just the fact that they're trying to figure out a way to get out of this slump. Now, go back to the last time we were together.
Yes. That was
that 3-0 victory against Westchester SC.
Mm-hmm.
What did you see differently from that team?
A lot more offense, and we have to mention they're on one of the worst teams in League One. They finished dead last. They had the offense. They got the offense mojo right. Had Shelton score a goal off a Duke penalty kick after Devin after Menta. The offense was alive in that game. But
and what did you see a lot more of? A high press.
Yes.
They were very much, if they gave up the ball, say on, the opposition's end, there were still 3 or 4 guys out there trying to disrupt the flow of play and all that stuff. You saw what happened with, the first goal against India 11 a couple months ago.
Yeah, that's right.
Who was up there?
Darren Smith.
No. Elvis Amo.
Yes.
You saw who was up there. Yeah, you saw who was up there.
Yeah.
They played a high press.
Yes.
Stephen Carroll makes a mistake trying to play it back to the goalkeeper. Guess who was sitting right there? Hello,
Elvis
I'll take
Almo.
it. Thank you very much.
He was there. He was lying in wait.
Yeah.
He scored twice in that game.
Absolutely. And it was just an example of,
and then
you got to create those opportunities when you can. Detroit created those opportunities, and that's what translated into goals in that contest. Whether it be off a corner like the Devin Amumensa one was, whether it be Matt Sheldon's goal late in the match as well, and
3 goals during the whole group play.
thing. And Detroit just kept high pressing. It was more pressure, on the center backs of Westchester SC that caused the pressure on those center backs, caused the disruption in flow, and led to those opportunities for Detroit City. You saw that. You didn't see that in any of those contests. You didn't see that against Pittsburgh. You didn't see that against Loudon.
You didn't see that against Oakland. I know that.
Right. I mean,
you didn't see that against Hartford Athletic.
Yeah, and it was just like playing desperate. They were just playing desperate in those occasions. This one, they played with more purpose, and they ended up getting 3 goals in that game. Mind you, they missed the Jägermeister Cup quarterfinals.
Yeah, we got edged out by Hartford, who's in there.
But to me, it didn't matter. I mean, to me, watching that game, it didn't matter at that point. I wanted to see an offense in which, Detroit City, maybe we're going to see something. We're going to see something. We're going to see an inspired performance from these guys, and they just didn't stop. They played 90 minutes of football, which was a good sign. Another common denominator, they haven't really been playing 90 minutes of football.
No.
Take a look at the Pittsburgh Riverhounds.
Oh, that was a
one
freaking shot.
Yeah.
One damn shot.
Yeah. The Pittsburgh Riverhound game. As I'm trying to figure this out here. Okay. Pittsburgh Riverhounds.
One damn shot.
56% possession.
And
one damn shot.
Yeah.
They had 10-5. 10
Yeah.
and 5 on target.
I know. And the only shot.
And the other one being Oakland Roots,
There
where
was 7 shots, and it was a nothing burger do.
Yeah.
It got lucky on a
on
defensive mistake.
a huge defensive
Oh,
mistake,
yeah.
and it ended up being 2-0 now.
I know.
At that point.
I know.
And the following week, we take on Hartford Athletic here.
Yeah.
That turned into a nothing burger as well because
Because if
Jimenez got us in the 6th minute, then Jang come back in the 23rd minute, and then
we were playing catch up.
We were playing catch up in that game
for
we
the
had
entire game.
No chance where we could. We were playing scared. We were running scared. We were playing from behind, and that's one thing that Detroit City does not like to do is play from behind.
I know.
They rather dictate the play, and you have to dictate the play. I mean, grant you 68% possession.
Oh, yeah.
But it was 2 mistakes. Jimenez in the 6th, Jen in the 23rd minute. That was your ball game.
I know.
That was your ball game right there. And Hartford clamped down and parked the bus and pretty much ended our day.
I know.
That game. And then the 0-0 draw against Pittsburgh. Some signs of a little bit more intensity there, but it was just. But like I said, that game on the 26th against Westchester, I finally got to see probably one of the better Detroit City performances in a long time.
You're right.
Probably since the early part of the year, where they were, they were playing some good games. I mean, you had the 1-0 victory against Pittsburgh in the Jaeger Cup. 2-0 against Rhode Island FC.
Yeah.
That was their last home win.
Yes.
In USL Championship was that game. And then the comeback against Phoenix Rising. The only blemish that was really bad blemish was that 2-0 loss in Louisville.
Yeah, I know. For the most House of Horror that was.
Yeah. It's just trying to find an identity at this point, and Detroit City has had that problem all season long, and I think they're starting to get it back. Danny said, I think you remember this when we talked to him after the Pittsburgh game.
Yes.
They need to find a way to get Darren Smith back in the fold, back into scoring goals again. And it's just...
And a big question, can he switch positions him? Can he play more of a wing?
Well, I think Detroit City may have gotten the answer a little bit earlier this week. And a lot of it's, dictated through the midfield. We talk about Maxi Rodriguez, how good of a midfielder he was.
Yes.
And
playing on the enemy, literally.
And the way he basically, dictated the flow of play from the midfield and all that stuff. There's hopes that Kobe Hernandez-Foster can do that.
The guy we just recently got on loan.
There's
the biggest lights.
We might see him in action tonight. As far as that goes, that's a good. I mean, he scored some goals. I mean, we showed one there from last season, CBS game against Tampa Bay, I believe it was. He can score goals from outside the box, and is very, can be very accurate from outside the box. So, I mean, when called upon, he could possibly do that. It's just the fact that how is he going to blend into this offense there? And what do you think too could be? Now that we are basically, this is the second game post Trevor James.
Yes, the first league game post Trevor James.
Yeah, this is the second game post Trevor James. Did you see a difference in intensity and in?
I'm hoping so.
Yeah.
The win was really big, but that was the Jägermeister Cup, and you're not going to face on every team that's not going to be Westchester United. This is a Rhode Island team that's struggling.
24. Yeah, it's struggling right now. I mean, they're very much struggling right now. Yeah. Let's see, stats on the year. 10 points at 10 points. Wow, it's like, 10 points. Yeah, 10 points. 4 on the road. 4 on the road or 4 at home, 6 on the road.
Yes.
And 11 goals on the year. 11 goals. Oh, that's in Jägermeister Cup. Let me switch that here. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to talk about Jägermeister.
Okay.
17 points. 17 points on the year. 14 goals on the year.
Yes.
Maxi Rodriguez is their top player right now.
You're right. He had 4 goals in the AE Cup and the
Yeah,
Open
he's
Cup.
their top player right now. Their
Yeah.
top scorer is Albert Dequa with 2 goals.
Yes.
Clay Holstead has 2 goals. J.J. Williams, who you will not see tonight,
No.
has 2 goals as well.
You're right.
But that's their top-rated. I mean, their top-rated player right now is Maxi Rodriguez, believe it or not.
Yeah.
And now we go into that deal here with Maxi Rodriguez the second time.
I know.
Rumors are that he might have had a haircut for tonight. I don't know if you saw that on the I don't think you're.
I'm not on the Discord. But
I thought I saw something on the Discord.
Don't tell me he cut his hair like Caesar or something like that. And I recently got a hair.
We shall see tonight.
Well, listen, I recently got a haircut myself. By the way, I'm showing you my age.
I'm getting ready to get mine done pretty soon myself.
And now
I recently the are getting worse.
I recently turned 52, by the way.
Well, happy birthday, by the way.
Thank
you. Just as you just recently celebrated this past Sunday.
I know.
And but like I said, I mean, this is going to be a game in which what Detroit team's going to show up tonight? Is this going to be the team that we saw in Phoenix? Is it going to be the team we saw last week at Keyworth or 10 days ago?
I'm thinking it could be the combination of the team we saw last week at Keyworth and the team we saw the last time we played Rhode Island.
And they looked pretty good that game. And it took full advantage of the red card that was handed out to Nadarcy early on in the contest.
I know.
And they just put the pedal to the metal as
and
far as that
and
goes.
also you have no J.J. Williams,
as I mentioned. Yeah, so it could be a night in which
you have to do an adjustment for that game, but who knows?
We shall see what we shall see. And coming down to it now, let's take a look at the pick. I mean, we both got 3 points. I'm still behind you by 10 points again, but. You know what? Looking at this game and looking at what we saw in the last week and the last couple weeks, you might as well add that Pittsburgh game into it. How are we going to see this game? How do you see it finally pulling out? I mean, this is probably
and I'm going to say I have probably more points than let's say Louisville and Charleston. That's all I'm going to say. If you saw that, I'm about it tight. 11 points between third place and last.
It's not a dog fight. It's going to be an all-out war for those final playoffs.
Battle Royale.
The Battle Royale, yes.
12 teams under, and 4 teams will hit the floor being eliminated. But how I see this game, I'm going to say possibly 2-1 Detroit City. They're not doing really well at Center Blank Stadium. I hope Darren Smith scores a goal. Just 1 goal.
He needs to.
But who knows? Maxey could score and Pawtucket. Who knows?
Yeah, well, he has scored before, but I don't think I think he's looking for a little bit of a revenge factor in this game tonight.
You're right.
I can see that happening.
However,
this Rhode Island team is not the team that it was last year that surprised everybody. Went on that run. Next thing you know, they're toppling Louisville. They're toppling Charleston in the playoffs.
Yeah, you're right.
This is a totally different. I think this is a totally different squad, and I don't think they're going to be focused enough in which they're going to end up coming away with the points in this one. I see another clean sheet for whoever's in net tonight, whether it be Herrera or Saldana. I think Detroit City's going to come after them, wanting something to prove here. They want to stay in that top 6. They want to keep Rhode Island in that bottom 4. I want to see, I think I'm going to see a better effort from this Detroit City team, and I saw that, and I think it's going to carry over. 2-0 Detroit City.
Okay. It's sort of like reminding me of Andy Openo. Remember back in the first days of 2022, he scored against his former team in Louisville, and he had a great satisfaction. Who knows? We may see that with Maxey. Who knows?
All right.
And by the way, cheers.
Cheers.
I got you, Boston Cooler.
I love it. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it there. We'll be drinking those Boston Coolers tonight while watching this game here at City Clubhouse. Where can you see this game tonight?
You can see the game between Detroit City against Rhode Island FC on CW50 over the air, CBS Detroit online, or on the CBS News app, and it will be also on ESPN Plus.
That's right. I didn't put CBS Detroit on the graphic there.
It's going to be on CBS Detroit.
It's going to be on CBS Detroit. That's how I get my games anyway. But but nonetheless, we will have after hours here. A little bit of a recap for the owners meeting.
It's going to be a big owners meeting because they're going to be asking questions. What happened behind the scene with City and Trevor, and the stadium update.
Yes,
since they're doing work.
Plethora of content.
They're doing work on the stadium, draining out the water.
Yes.
And I heard an interview on Flashpoint with Sean Mann.
Yep.
Yeah, they're draining out the water.
Yes, they are.
I wish I could take a picture safely from a distance, but yeah.
All we know is there's going to be a big meeting next week coming up.
Yes, Monday.
Stay tuned.
We will be covering it. I'll be covering it on my socials. You're going to be covering on the social.
We'll be there for that.
We'll be there. Ha ha ha.
So, but we will also be here for after hours as well.
I know.
Giving you a count up on everything that's going on with this game and a couple other league games going on tonight as well.
And don't forget, team news an hour before the game.
Yes. Indeed, and we'll probably the team news. I think we're just going to put on the socials because that's going to drop right around the time the owner meeting is. Okay. So we're just going to drop it.
All right.
I mean, look for the city one, and then I'll try to share it on Soccer Night in Detroit. All right, we got to head on now, and we will get you set up for this thing, and we will talk to you after hours. Until then, keep your feet on the ground, keep reaching for the